So I'm here now with Donna MacPherson. She is one of the info officers with the BC Wildfire Service. For those of you that have been watching our video updates, you'll know that she's no stranger to the table here. And Donna, today we're going to talk about a couple of specific fires. Donna, I thought maybe first we could start off with the Quinn Creek Fire.
Okay, we have had a fire that's been burning, started out in Quinn Creek. It's moved over into the Bull River drainage. It's just entered down into the Upper Brule Creek area, and that was our trigger point place for us to start consultations with local government as to whether or not they thought an evacuation alert would be appropriate. The fire is still some way away from Elkford. It's got 24 kilometers to travel, but safety for people is something that we're concerned about.
Right, and the purpose of an evacuation alert is so that people are prepared and ready to go should conditions worsen. So the Regional District, District of Elkford, and the District of Sparwood have collectively and jointly issued an evacuation alert for the Elkford and area. There's a specific map available on the Regional District of East Kootenay website, and of course our information line is still open, so if people have questions or need more information, they can give us a call at 1-855-346-2188, and that information line, if we're not there in person to answer calls, you can leave a name and number, and the recorded message will be the most updated information that we have. So that's not just for this particular alert, it applies to all of the fires and other situations across the East Kootenay right now, and hope that people will use that as a resource. So once again, it's a precautionary evacuation alert that we have issued today for the Elkford and area sort of north of Sparwood up through Elkford. So that's in relation to the Quinn Creek Fire, and I know that there are some other fires burning in the area that we wanted to just touch on today and explain to people maybe some of the forward planning that's happening on those fires. So let's talk briefly, if we could, about maybe the Soowa Mountain Fire.
That's right. So that's in the Flathead area. That fire has come around the corner of the Soowa Mountain, and it's very visible to Elko and to Highway 3. We know that lots of people are seeing it and concerned, but we have put an initial attack crew on a small ridge adjacent in between the fire and the community. They're there to make sure that there aren't any spots that move in the wrong direction in case there's some flare-ups. So those initial attack crews are very good at seeking and finding any new start and then dealing with a small spot before it gets big.
Great, so there are people on the ground on the Soowa Mountain Fire today, and while it is very visible, there are no current threats to the community of Elko or to the highway.
No, and I did want to talk briefly about what a trigger point is, because people hear that and they don't know quite what it means. So as we are doing our fire management planning, we'll have locations along the land where if the fire gets here, it doesn't necessarily mean this is a time that an evacuation alert would be put in. It's the time that our fire management group sit down and think about where the fire is, where the weather is, where the fire behavior is, and where the fire could go. And if they feel at that point that it's something that they want to bring forward to local government, they include that in the discussions that they do have with local government and say, hey, this is kind of what we're seeing and this is what we're feeling and what do you think? So it's actually a partnership between the fire management people and especially with the people that take care of you folks that make the decision as to whether an evacuation alert is warranted.
Right, and safety ultimately is the end goal for everyone, so we really appreciate all of the expertise that goes into making those decisions. They certainly are not issued lightly, so thank you very much for that explanation. And just maybe if you could touch on some of the other fires in the Flathead, maybe some planning that's going on around those.
So we are bringing an incident management team and a camp and more crews into the area by the end of the week. They're going to be getting settled in that area, and they'll deal with all the fires in that area. They'll be closer to the fires and more able to respond.
All right, so as we get resources ramped up here in the East Kootenay, we'll continue to have more information coming out on those fires. I know people have questions, and certainly we're forwarding as much information as we have, and we hope that you'll continue to watch these videos and engage in some of the information bulletins and those kinds of information sources that are coming out. So thank you very much for joining us, and do you have any other parting things that you'd like to add today?
No, just everybody needs to be safe, so think of yourself and think of your families and get ready to go.
All right, thanks again.